Hello and welcome back. In this video, once again, we are going to discuss the word problems which lead to the quadratic equations, and these are the intermediate problem from the same exercise 2A of D3 8th edition. The first problem states the perimeter of a rectangular campsite is 64 meters and its area is 207 meters square. Find length and breadth of the campsite. So here is a rectangular campsite. So first let me draw a rectangle. Suppose this is a rectangle and let me call length as L only and breadth as B only. So here the two things given are its perimeter, which is 64 meters, while its area is 207 meter square. So first, starting with the perimeter, we know what is the perimeter of a rectangle. It's 2 times length plus breadth, so it equals 64. Now from this equation we can express one of the variables, length or breadth, into other. So first I have to move 2 to the right hand side. It will become length plus breadth equals 64 divided by 2. So it will become the sum of length and breadth will be 32. So I can either express length in terms of breadth or breadth in terms of length. So if I want to keep L over here, B will be moved to the right and it will become 32 minus B. So I have expressed length in terms of breadth, which we can use in the second given thing, which was its area. And we know what is the area of a rectangle. It is its length multiplied to breadth. So I can here replace length with the expression I found in the first part, and area will be replaced with 207. So it will be 32 minus B times B, and expanding the right hand side, it will become 207 equals 32B minus B square. So because it is a quadratic equation, so first we have to change it into the standard form by moving right hand side to the left. So negative B square will become positive B square, 32B will become minus 32B, and 207 will remain on its left hand side. Right hand side will become 0. So that is the quadratic equation in standard form. Now we can solve it either way. We can apply the formula or we can factorize all. So if I want to factorize it, I have 207 and that is positive. So I have to take the factors of 207 whose sum will become 32. So I can guess it should be 23 times 9. 23 times 9 is 207, and keeping both terms negative, their sum will be positive 207, and their product will be 207 positive and their sum will be negative 32. So I can break its middle term as b square minus 23b minus 9b plus 207 equals 0. Next we can see the factors will be b minus 23 and b minus 9, and their product is 0. So we can say either b minus 23 is 0 or b minus 9 is 0. So the two values of b are 9 and 23. Both are positive, so both values are possible. So if I say b is 9, if b is 9, then what will be the length? It will be length equals, using the expression we figured out in the first step, it will be 32 minus 9. It implies its length should be 23. And if I say b is 23, then length will be 32 minus 23, which is eventually 9. So we can say that the smaller one is its breadth and larger one is its length. So I can say thus length equals 23 meters and breadth equals 9 meters. So that was the first problem. Let's move to the next one. Second problem states a rectangular field 70-meter long and 50-meter wide is surrounded by a concrete path of uniform width. Given that the area of path is 1024 meters square, find the width of the path. So because it is a rectangular field, so first we have to draw the rectangular field and then we will draw the path surrounding it. Suppose that this one is the uniform path that surrounds it, and its width is 50 meter. Next, it is given that the area of the path is 1024 meters square. So area of the path, which is over here, this one is the path which surrounds the field. So area of the path, which is actually the difference of area of the large triangle and area of the field. So that equals 1024. I will write it over here. Area of path equals 1024, as it said that path of uniform width, right? If I say the width of the path, suppose because it is over here, let me call it as x. Okay, so what will be the length of the outer rectangle? It will be 70 plus 2x because it surrounds on both sides, and then multiply to its width will be 50 plus 2x because 50 was the width of rectangular field and it is on both sides, it is surrounded by the concrete path of x width, and then we subtract the area of field from it, so which is 70 times 50, because we know the formula for area of rectangle is its length multiplied to width, so it's 1024 on the right hand side. Now first we need to expand the left hand side, which will become 3500 plus 140x plus 100x plus 4x square, and minus the product of 70 and 50 is 3500, and we can also move 1024 to the left hand side, so it will be minus 1024, that equals 0. Because it is a quadratic equation, first we need to simplify it. If there are terms which can be cancelled out, definitely there is 3500 positive and negative, and the quadratic term being 4x square will be written in the first, then it is 140x and 100x, so it will be 240x. Further, it is minus 1024, which equals 0. Once again we have an equation, but it can be simplified by taking 4 common, because we can see 4 is the factor of all three terms, so it will be x square plus 60x minus 256, and it all equals 0. Next, x square plus 60x minus 256 will equal to 0, because 0 will be divided with 4, which is eventually 0. Now we have equation in the simplest form. We can either apply the formula or we can also factorize it. because we have the equation in simplest form. So now its factors will be, because we are looking for the factors of negative 256 whose difference is positive 60. So one of the factor will be negative and other will be positive. So hopefully it could be 64 and 4. As we can see, 60 is positive, so the greater term will be positive and the lesser one will be negative. So we can write it as x square plus 64x minus 4x minus 256 equals 0. Now by taking the terms common, it will be x plus 64 times x minus 4, which equals 0, and we know the values of x coming over here are minus 64 and x equals positive 4. Because we have stated that x was the width of the path, so it cannot be negative. Okay, so that value is already rejected. So that is the width of path. We can state that width of path is 4 meter. Let's move to one other problem and then we'll conclude the video. The next problem states a piece of wire 44 centimeter long is cut into two parts. Each part is bent to form a square. Given that the total area of the two squares is 65 centimeter square, find the perimeter of each square. So this one is a complicated problem. First, we have to suppose that this is a wire which is 44 centimeter long, and we are cutting this wire into two parts. Let me assume that these are the two parts we cut the wire into. First one is over here, and suppose the second one is over here. So if I say the length of one part is x centimeter, then the length of other part will be 44 minus x centimeters, right? Now we turn these wires into square. So let me draw a shape over here. This is a square made from the first part, and then suppose that this is the square made from the second part. So for the thing we know over here is the perimeter of these two squares, because we changed the wire of length x centimeter into a square, so the perimeter of square will be x centimeters, and similarly the perimeter of second square will be 44 minus x, and in case of a square the perimeter equals 4 times its length. So in first we can say that if I say the L1 is its length, and let's suppose that L2 is the length of second square, so L1 should be x divided by 4 and L2 should be 44 minus x divided by 4. So we have two expressions for their length, and what other condition was given, that the total area of the two squares is 65 centimeters square. So now we have to find the area of these two squares and then we have to add it, because area of any square equals the square of its length. So it will be x by 4 whole square plus 44 minus x divided by 4 its whole square, and that equals perhaps it was 65. Yes, that equals 65. Now we need to expand the squares on the left hand side. So first one will become x square divided by 16 plus the next one will become the square of 44, which is 1930, 6, it will be minus 88x plus x square. We expanded it using the whole square formula, that a minus b whole square equals a square minus 2ab plus b square, and then the denominator will be the 4 square, which is 16, and this equals 65. Now first we need to simplify this, and it will become, because the denominator is same, we can just write it into one single fraction, and it will be written as x square plus 1936 minus 88x plus x square, and that equals 65. Now we move 16 to the right hand side and simplify the left hand side, which becomes 2 times x square minus 88x plus 1936, and it equals 65 times 16. So now we have to multiply 65 and 16, and then we have to move it to the left hand side, because it is a quadratic equation and we need to change it into a standard form. So first find the product to x square minus 88x plus 1936 minus 1040, so it equals 0. Now simplifying it will give us 2x square minus 88x plus 896 equals 0. And because that is a quadratic equation, so we can apply formula, or we can also factorize it. This seems a difficult one, so we can apply the formula over here. So the value of a will become 2, because a is the coefficient of quadratic term, then b is the coefficient of linear term, which is minus 88, and c is 896. So let me apply the formula, which states x equals minus b plus minus the square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So x should become now minus times negative 88 plus minus the square root of the square of minus 88 written in parenthesis minus 4 times a was 2 and c was 896, and divided by 2 times a, which will be 2 times 2. Now we just need to calculate the value of x using calculator. X should become over here, first term will become positive 88, then plus the root of 80 minus 88 square. I'm not expanding it, we will put the directly values in the calculator and write the answers right after it. 896 divided by 2 times 2, which is eventually 4, and then it will be 88 minus the root of square of minus 88 minus 4 times 2 times 896 and divided by 4. So here we go, we put these values into the calculator and then find the value of x. So after we put the values in the calculator, the first value we get is 28 and the next we get is 16. If x equals 28, then what will be the value of 44 minus x, because that was the perimeter of second square. It will be 44 minus 28, which is eventually 16. And similarly, if we take x equals 16, then definitely 44 minus x equals 28. As it said in the question, we can see the statement again, that find the perimeter of each square, and we know the perimeter of first square was x and other was 44 minus x. So the perimeters we calculated over here are 16 and 28. So the perimeters of two squares are 16 and 28. So that is complete over here. Uh, Let me assign you a work that try this question because it corresponds one of these questions we solved over here. Try this question on your own and write the answers in chat box. I will verify if it is correct or wrong, and see you in the next video. Until then, take good care of yourself.